See?
My name is RAnderson, and I did my internship on cancer care and education. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for my internship, I thought about medicine. I've been interested in medicine since I was a child, as you can see in the picture. And I also grew up with my mom, who is a nurse and has been for over 30 years, specifically in thoracic oncology, which is lung cancer. So I was surrounded by the oncology field. And also my mom had breast cancer 2 or 3 years ago, and I had to help take care of her after her surgery, and I just got really interested in cancer. I wanted to learn more about how it worked and how it spread and what you could do to prevent it. So I thought that would be a good topic for this internship. So for my research project, or for my research paper, I thought about treatments. Everybody knows the basic treatments of radiation, chemotherapy, and surgery. I wanted to go a little deeper and figure out what other ones were out there. And one that really stood out to me that I thought was really interesting is a viral treatment, which is where they input a virus into the patient that attacks the cancer. And I thought that was really cool because I'd never heard of anything like that before. For my interview, because we had to do an interview, I interviewed Jimmy Phillips, who's been in the research field for over 15 years. She gave me great insight into how treatment has changed over the course of the past few decades in thoracic oncology, because that is her specialty. Like for instance, they used to take out entire lobes of the lung, but now they only take out the surrounding tissues of cancer because it's less drastic and dramatic of the loss of tissue for the For my internship, I attended educational courses, beginning with understanding cancer back in February of last year. And during this course, they taught us the basics of cancer, so what cancer is, how it spreads, and the most common types of cancer, such as skin cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer. So that was, and they also taught us about how you can prevent it, which is basically just living a healthy lifestyle. If you think about it, cancer is nothing but the abnormality of cells. So the healthier and better shape you keep your body in, the less likely that is to happen. Adrienne Manavage was my internship mentor. I helped her collate materials for LMEC, which was a educational course as well about end-of-life and palliative care. And palliative care is basically just long-term care. And the cancer patients often do have to go into palliative care because it is a long and grueling disease that does require a lot of time and energy. Tara Montgomery. She was a nurse that I shadowed in the infusion center, and I would have to say that this was my favorite part of my internship because I got hands-on interaction with cancer patients, and I got to see how chemotherapy works. So I had done this research, but then I actually got to see what it was like what chemotherapy was like, and the patients were fabulous. They have such optimism and just life about them, and it was one of the best experiences. This is just a basic picture of a infusion center room. And I don't know about you, but when I think about infusion and chemotherapy, I used to think about what they show in the movies and TV shows with the big communal room with all the chairs, but they actually have different things. Like, I was surprised that they had beds, but it makes sense because some patients can't have chemotherapy sitting up because of circulation. Oh, also, I sat in on a tumor board meeting with my mom for thoracic oncology, and it was really neat to see that these doctors had all these specialty doctors come in and just really think about what treatments they were going to give to their patients. Like, it was amazing how much care that doctors put into this and how much they care about their patients, because, I mean, if I had cancer, I would want to make sure that I had all the best people looking at the best routes of the treatment. So that was really neat to see that they actually do that. Okay, for our community service, as Kaylee already mentioned, we worked at the Woodland Early Learning Center to teach healthy living at an early age. As I already mentioned, healthy living is the best way to prevent cancer. So what better way than to start it in children who will carry on throughout their lives. So we did worksheets and we also did games. Like this game over here, we were playing the game Germs and Doctors, which basically taught them that if you go to the doctor, they can help you get rid of germs. So we did fun little activities like that to keep them engaged. We also watched videos and did work on the board. So the significance of my internship, oh wait, keep on, go a little bit. Okay, I also did a little bit extra community service at the Relay for Life at UVA last April. And through the UVA Cancer Center, I helped screen people and show them where they were more likely to get sun damage from the sun by taking UV pictures and explaining to them where they were more likely to get sun damage and how they could prevent it. Like if you were a woman, you could use SPF makeup to help block some of the sun, stuff like that. And it was really interesting because so many people weren't aware of it. Like if you think about it, like ears aren't really a place that you think to put sunscreen, but they stick out from your body, so that's where it's more likely to get sun exposure. And so skin cancer is one of the more preventable cancers because you can do so much to avoid it, which is also why we talk to children because you don't really think about these things, but it's so easy to prevent. But the significance was working with the patients. That was my favorite part. I mean, they are facing a ridiculously just awful disease, and you would think that you would be negative about it, but these people are some of the most optimistic and just really silver lining people that I've ever met. It kind of put my life in perspective. Like, my problems are, oh my gosh, I didn't do my calculus homework, but these patients are like, am I going to live to next week? So working with these patients, it impacted me greatly. In the fall, I plan on attending the University of Virginia where I will study nursing, and I'm really excited about that.
Since having cancer, I think the outlook that I've had in life is completely different. There definitely is something different about cancer sometimes is here to teach us something, whatever it is. It has healed me emotionally and physically, and it's made me realize that my world is so much more valuable than I ever thought it was.
I'm Lisa Ann Cannon Albright.
I'm RAnderson. My name is Carrie Lyons.
I am a cancer survivor, but I'm much more than that.
I'm a cancer survivor.
I am Cindy Yorkson, cancer survivor by civil rights initiative.
No matter how you do it, whether it's day by day, whatever it takes, you love to do it. If you don't know how to found that, find it. Because it's the only thing that will give you hope. I'm Christy Islak. I'm a cancer survivor, and I tell my story and hope I will change people's lives. I would say vanity almost killed me. Vanity was in my life as well. Because I was 10 because I was very big. I'm still a little girl. I'm still green. I still think about my face every single day, and I still think it's a big deal. But the difference of everyday relationships. My hope is not only thriving every day and going one day at a time, but it's educating too. And by doing that, I have more hope every day in changing someone's view, changing someone's either for the better. not something that happened to you, something that you learned better, and not your fault.
You can't say, look, I'm Carly Buckford. I'm a cancer survivor and I got the shot.
I just did. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a loyal friend, and I enjoy life. I try every day, making up information on my life is just this wonderful experience. I relish everything.
So going back to future plans, those are the type of people that I want to work with. And working with anybody else, I just feel like it wouldn't be satisfying enough after working with them already. So that's, I think, one of the most significant things that I got out of this is that I want to work with cancer patients in the future. So I will specialize in oncology when I'm in nurse. And if you found this really interesting, on Monday, this documentary, it's 3 episodes, was aired on PBS. So if you're interested in this topic, this is a fabulous documentary, and I watched it, and it was great. It put cancer and the development of treatment into very simplistic terms so that anybody can understand it. And I thought it was really great, so I thought I'd share it with you. Any advice to rising seniors? Pick something you love. Even if it's not easy, pick something that you love because it's not going to be a job when you do it. It's going to be fun and you'll enjoy doing it. Any questions?
Minutes on Sunday night.
That's
Especially,
probably
did you see
about
that one?
I did not see that one, but I recorded that and watched it after every soccer game that I got home this week
Right.
because it was just so good.
The one on 60 Minutes was about inserting genes into the polio.
Yeah.
And it would target
Yeah,
specifically
yeah,
the area of tumor growth.
yeah. And I
So
know
it would be
in
worth
brain
going back
cancer,
to look for.
yeah, and in brain cancer, it's really difficult to treat that sometimes because of the membrane, and not a lot of things can get through that. So that's why viral treatment is so popular for that, because it can cross through that membrane and actually attack the tumor and not attack anything else, and you're not removing parts of your brain. So that's why I thought the viral part was so cool.
Well done.
Yes, ma'am.
About nanotechnology.
I read a very little bit about that when I was doing my research. But I can get back to you on that.
It can really target and side effects.
Yes, Emily.
Since you were working in medicine, did you have any issues with patient confidentiality or anything like that?
No, I've volunteered at UVA for the past 2 summers, and they're very strict about HIPAA, which is the patient confidentiality contract with the state and the people. So I understood that very well, and I made sure that I didn't overstep any boundaries, and I made sure that the patient was comfortable with me being there, and if not, I removed myself from the situation because I want the patient to be as comfortable as they possibly can.
What advice would you give to other students who are thinking about doing something in medicine, their internship?
Pick something that you really like and be aware that it can be sad at times and be ready for things that you might not necessarily think would happen.
Talking about the using the viruses, could you expand on that a little bit? It's really fascinating, but so are they manipulating the DNA of the virus?
Yeah, they're making the virus so it will attack cancer cells only. So when it's being injected into the patient, it will find the cancer and attack that. I mean, there are sometimes side effects, obviously, but it was very fascinating.
You talked to any researchers who were doing this when you were at UVA? There's the cancer center there.
I talked, Jenny Phillips actually was really great. She talked a lot about other things. I have a little sheet where I sum up everything that she told me about. It's on my website.
So she's one of the researchers.
Yes.
Are they targeting any particular cancers for the viral treatments?
I thought it was brain mostly, because that's the one that's really hard to get anywhere else, because intravenous things just don't work with that really. Any more questions?
I've got just going. I think I've watched all the documentaries on it now, and I noticed that some researchers are using HIV and some are using polio. Do you know why they prefer one virus over another?
I think they're just specific carriers that actually are compatible with the I guess attacking thing.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it, but any more questions? Yes, Simeon.
This is just a comment of what said, like for the confident children, when I was telling you did for the teachers for shadow, you do like for confident children. Some people don't like to do that, so this one lady asked me to step out because she didn't want to let go of her.
Anything else?
I have a question about the HIPAA law. Did you ever have a scenario where you had to step out of the room?
Not when I was doing this internship, but when I was volunteering over the summer, I did. I was working on the cardiology floor, and there was this patient. He had drug problems before, so he was very erratic, like just completely. I don't want to say crazy, but he was very. Yeah, he was almost like aggressive too. So not in like a he was just angry, I guess you could say. But that was the only time that I really had to. Any more questions?